Hi, everybody. Today's day number 4 of my lives. Today we're talking about the myth of it's not coming because I need to do more work. This came up as a result of some of the other lives I've shared, so 3 before this, and this sense of that there's more to be done in order to get the thing I want. Okay? And in part, this has come up because I'm talking about emergence. So emergence is the energy tone of my upcoming group program. And the benefit of that is that I'm exploring and sharing all of the different concepts that come up that I don't ever really put into curriculum, because they're not curriculum, it's lived experiences. It's something that we learn. We are living through right now, you, me, all of us are learning how to be happier people in our lives, simply put, and get to the things that we want more, get more of the stuff we want. And some of that may be just more happiness in our life, but how do we create that satisfaction, the contentment, the feeling that my business is thriving, the feeling that my family is happy and my kids are going to be great, the just like I have good health in my body. Like we're always, across the entire course of our life, working towards the next better thing in our life, right? And for those of us who are in a really Zen state and we've reached a place where it's like, I'm pretty happy in my life, and there's still that thing that I want, you're never going to stop growing. And in the spiritual intuitive world, a lot of people say you're never going to stop learning. Well, okay, yes, that's true. You're never going to stop having lessons. I have issue with that one because we're not really here to have lessons. We're here to enjoy our life, and through the enjoyment of life, we learn certain things. We're like, I don't like that anymore. I like this more. That's the whole point. But when you have the belief that I'm not sure if I'm ready for the next thing because I still need to do some more work, or I'm not getting that thing, like I don't have all the clients I want, or I don't have all the income I want, or I don't have my programs full because I haven't done enough work. That's a myth. I just want to clarify, that's a complete myth. When you feel like I will be able to leave this part of my life, so let's say a job, let's say a type of work, a program, a relationship, I'll be able to leave this after I've done more healing. I won't feel this way after I've done more healing. These things are not true. You are already a complete, happy human underneath that. There is no more healing you have to do. And the more focus you put on the need to do healing, the more focus you put on the need to do more work, you will create more work, the need for more work, and the need for more healing. And I know when you haven't quite gotten your head around practicing being in alignment, that can feel like a spiritual bypass, but it's not. There is a state of mind that we create with our thoughts and our emotions where we keep ourselves continually stuck in the past, in the things we created, in the person we were. Now, when you go through your awakening, and I'm going to guess that everybody listening to me has been through awakening. And so let me define what awakening is so that we understand in a really simple term. When you've been through an awakening experience in your life, what happens is you've likely gone through a really tight, hard, challenging crisis time in your life where everything felt like shit. And what it did is it woke you up to realize this isn't the life I want to be living. This isn't the person I want to be. And you learned, I'm the one who got myself here. I was the person who put myself in this situation. It may not be fun. I can see when I look back on how I got here, I couldn't see it while I was doing it, but you begin to become aware that I'm creating my life. So once you have that kernel of knowledge, once you know you're creating your knowledge, your world with that awareness, then you're creating everything forward. So you've learned how to listen to your intuition. You've learned how to listen for alignment, and that is your guidepost. And then we're beginning to learn, all of us, continually learning, how to replace the thoughts that we have, the habits we have, the nervous system responses that we have that keep us in an equivalent vibration to what was before. So let me see if I can give you a concrete example from my life so that it will make sense. Best example I have is around my divorce, which is like the biggest chunk of my life over the last probably 4 or 5 years. And so my awareness is that I was in a beautiful relationship with somebody that was really challenging. Okay. In the moment of the challenging, I hated life. And at some point in that awareness, I realized I created myself into this, and I had a ton of emotional patterns, thought patterns, nervous system responses to the person and to that person in my life. And I had been building those over time. But I created myself into that relationship. I created myself into that challenge. And once the divorce finalized, or as we're moving through the divorce and we're getting to having a finalized divorce, all of the experiences that I was having were me learning not to be the person that created myself into that space. Because I had taught myself how to be that person. We have all taught ourselves how to be who we were, but we do not often have guidance for how to be who we actually are. Because the moment that you realize, I don't want to be that person, you become more of the person you actually are, which is your soul-connected self, the happy person, the accomplished person, the fulfilled person, the person with all the things in their life. You become it already. That's the nature of the way we create. But our capacity as humans, we're just not so good at being able to turn the old off and start the new. It's a journey. It's a developmental journey. And in part, I think that's because of our mental patterns. We develop mental patterns. So I had mental patterns about how he did this or how he did that or how I was this or how he saw me as this. And turning those mental patterns off is hard. Finding new ones and creating new ones that don't include that energy, but are the new energy, really required support. It really required me having a team that helped me do that. That's an example of, I don't need to do more work. I don't need to do more healing. I really was on a journey to find how to be the me I was already choosing to be. I was choosing to be a happy person. I was choosing to be a person that was not responding to the diminishing comments of the person in my life, the main person in my life. Do you see? So it wasn't healing per se, it was becoming me. Becoming me in business. So this is an example, doing lives like this is an example of me becoming the person I kept saying in my head I was going to be, right? Think about how many times you've thought about it in relation to your business, like, oh, I'm going to focus on building my email list. We'll pick a simple thing that applies to everybody. Or I'm going to focus on not taking work home at the end of the day. How often do you actually do it? You wouldn't still be saying it. How long were you saying that thing before you actually started doing the thing? That's the you that you want to be. You want to be the person who's focused on a consistent email relationship. You want to be the person who said, I'm not taking work home at night. I have my boundaries. I'm going to care for myself. And not beat yourself up about it. Not judge yourself, right? So there are these elements that are sort of, I think they're ephemeral. They're desires, they're wishes, they're wants that we don't step into, we don't emerge into. So my perspective with emergence is you are already fully complete. You just have to teach yourself that you're that. You already have to teach your mind and your energy system and your belief and your thought processes that you are already complete. And sometimes that's about unraveling. Sometimes that's about validation. Sometimes that's about having other people reflect for you and share for you. Yeah, you're doing great. that thing that you thought you were wrestling with, look at it this way. This is how I see it. You didn't wrestle. You came out of that in a really powerful way. So I can look back on my divorce and think, damn, that was a really hard thing. Granted, it was. But what I can see is all the ways that I grew as a function of it. And the energy tone of it is that I feel accomplished. I feel good about it. I feel compassion. I feel sad still, like sad about the changes and the hard that was created. But I'm not spiraling and stuck in the blame or the faults or which you can do when you come out of a divorce, when you come out of any kind of relationship. But you can do this even in your business. You can be blaming yourself for not having more growth, or blaming myself for not having changed this, or I'm not doing enough. That's the statement that comes when I feel like, oh, I need to do more work. Then what you're saying to yourself is, I am not enough. I have not done enough. And from an aligned perspective, the only thing you're working for is, I'm aiming for alignment. If you can get to the alignment, then everything else opens up in really powerful ways. I know this because I've practiced this with my past mentorship, and my group of women there have opened their lives up in magical ways. So all the things they've wanted have been opening up in ways that mentally they would not have constructed them to look this way, but their soul had their back, and spirit aligned things for them. The universe aligned things for them because they are co-creators with the universe. So they didn't need to do more healing. They didn't need to do more work. They're not doing any more work than they did when they started. It is a alignment with self that we're all aiming for. So I really wanted to stress everything about your happiness and where you want to be, all the desires you want to have. It's not about doing more work. It's not about doing more healing. You might do more work and you might do more healing, but that's coming from a different vibration. It's not coming from, I'm incomplete, I need to do more. It will come from, I'm feeling more powerful and sure in myself, more clear, more loved, more supported, more stable. And now I can do more work. That is the work that I enjoy. Now I can do more healing because it's taking me where I want to go. It's the thing I want to do. I hope you understand the distinction. Please share with me in the comments what your experience has been. Stick around for tomorrow's live. And if you haven't already, please go check the previous 3. We talked a lot about alignment and intuition and energy. It's a pleasure to have you here. Any comments are lovely. And I will be on to my day. I hope you have a fabulous day, you guys. Take care.